we're tracking a mass shooting at Willie's Bar and Grill on St. Helena Island. We now have images showing that scene overnight. You can see a large emergency response here. And here's what we know so far. We know that 4 people are dead, 4 are in critical condition, and at least 20 others have been injured. WJCL 22 News' Grace Rodriguez is live at Willie's Bar and Grill where the shooting happened early this morning. You've been out there nearly all day now, Grace. What can you tell us about what the scene looks like today?
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, y'all, today we got to talk about our friend Willie off in South Kakalaka. Because there was a tragic incident that occurred at Willie's little business spot down there. And we can all relate to this if you are in the community, if you are blackity black. We all got a family friend, we all got a cousin, a brother, or uncle, just like Willie. And it's hard for me to shout out Willie, even though I am a proponent of entrepreneurship. It's hard for me to shout out Willie, who set up a juke joint so that he could pump alcohol into the blackity black community. And we all know we get a certain kind of way when that liquor get in us. And it seems like over the weekend, y'all, in South Carolina, there was an event going on at Willie's where that alcohol may have taken over. Details are still sketchy. We're still waiting to understand what is going on. But what we do know is that 4 people are dead in a shooting incident. 4 others are critically injured, and up to as many as 20 people are injured in this incident. What happened, Willie, at your establishment? See, this is the thing. We can't get involved in engineering. We can't get involved in tech. Every time the blackity blacks want to open a business, it's a juke joint. Even if we call it a museum sometimes, it still ends up being a juke joint where drugs are pushed, alcohol is pushed, all the things that are detrimental to the community are pushed from these businesses. And y'all know the streets talk. That's why this crime is going to be solved, even though they have no one in custody at this point. It's going to be solved because the streets be talking. That's why me out here in California, thousands of miles away, I have even heard that Willie bought this business in 2022 after another business was closed down for a similar incident. There was a shooting at this place previously. Previous owner got shut down. Willie bought it from them, and now Willie going through the same experience. You know why? Because we don't want to do better, and Willie is experiencing the same ills that have festered in the community over time, that have not been quashed in the community over time, that remain existing in the community over time. Seems like we can't fix it. Seems like some folks don't want to fix it, because I would depend on somebody with an entrepreneurial mind like Willie to say, hey, this ain't the way. If I'm pumping alcohol into these folks that's already crazy, maybe I'm part of the problem. Maybe Willie should come to the realization after a circumstance like this where he is likely going to get shut down himself. It's unfortunate, though, that lives have to be lost for people like Willie to come to an understanding that what you're doing in the community, bruh, is not helpful at all. Y'all, let's get into this story as Willie try to fake cry on the news, not for lives lost, but for money lost.
Could I just have you say and spell your first and last name?
Yeah, Willie Terrell, Willieturral.
Perfect. And you're the owner here of Willie's.
That's right.
Just tell me just the nuts and bolts of what happened last night.
So, I'm not sure everything that took place in terms of what exactly happened. The shooting occurred, but it occurred outside, and I was inside. But I mean, I could tell you from inside, I could hear what sound like machine gun fire, and I could see the swarm of people coming in, and things happen so fast. Just bodies on the ground, people just trying to duck for cover, and going out and seeing people. CPR being conducted on people in the parking lot. So I just know it was just a a mayhem, a tragedy outside, and it's unreal. It's unreal, honestly.
Do you remember around what time that happened?
Yeah, so had to be around 1 o'clock. I know it was around 1 o'clock, 12:50ish. It was that time when you kind of hit the height of the nightlife. It's about an hour for closing. Everybody just wants to get in and get their last drink or make their last acquaintances. So yeah, about one.
And what was the event that was happening? So it was an alumni.
Yeah, so it was a alumni party for Battle Creek tailgaters. So two folks, people from the Battle Creek community was throwing in. Of course, we had alumni parties all weekend. So we had Beaver High Friday night, and this is Battle Creek.
And just how many people were here when it happened?
Oh man, it's so we don't have a finite number. I mean, we were packed though. I mean, it was a packed event. I mean, the club was packed. The parking lot was packed. It was well attended. Of course, with the mayhem, we didn't have time to really get those final numbers from security about what our capacity was. But I just know it was full house.
And of those people killed, did you know any of them?
Yeah. So unfortunately, one of the security officers who passed away happens to be the son of my dad's best friend. So he came. We spoke the night before. So we spoke the night before, and so it was close, real close to home.
Sorry.
Mm.
Trying to think of anything else. Yeah.
So on that night, you look at great. I'm so sorry for this.
Yeah.
Can you describe the atmosphere before everything happened?
Yeah. So prior to the gunshots, it was great. I mean, it was everything you would have wanted from an alumni party. I mean, people were smiling, people were dancing, people were having a fantastic time. We did a lot of renovations. People were just enjoying themselves. I mean, you could look around and just see like people were having a great time prior to what took place, and it just was a complete reversal. Well, it's just it was nice. It was a great time, man. I heard the shots. I was I laid on the ground with everybody else. I have your coworkers and family members that the first thing is everybody okay, and I mean, yeah.
What were you doing if you remember what happened?
Yeah, so right before the shots fired out, I just brought my staff and my we have our own club security that helps maintain the bars, and I just brought them out. I mean, we was getting end of nights. We sat down and had to toast ourselves. Just successful night, man. It was it. Like it's all downhill. Like the work's done. Just ready, for everybody to get ready. Lights go on in 30 minutes. Things get ready, it's like the night's over. Like, we gotta go home. So, yeah.
Did you notice anything like a buildup before that took place?
No. This one of the ones where like, you just can't. I couldn't have called. I mean, there's been times when like we have conversations, getting too testy. Like, kill a bar early. Let's turn the lights on. Let's thin the crowd out. I mean, there's times that you see things, and just as a club owner, like you just got to be, mindful of the crowd. You try to, respond and react. Maybe, this is one of those times when, like as a small business owner, I'm usually getting a few security, and then me taking a, kind of personal role of myself and securing the club. This is one of the times when thought we had it fully handled. I mean, we had a full security staff. I mean, I don't think I've even ever. It might be the first time we had so many armed security, a professional company that came out. So I mean, it's hard because it's just one of the times where like my eye wasn't, on the crowd as much as it would have been. So
It's your baby. I get it. It's your baby. It's your business. Your style. So I see your staff here, and we talked to your staff first, and they're holding up pretty good in that sense. They're supporting, I can tell. How you guys are working together through this traumatic event?
I mean, that's what it's all about, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm thankful for everybody who walked away. I'm thankful for everybody who's alive, who is safe. And we just gotta come together and support each other at this time. I mean, it's kind of what makes or breaks community. It's something that it's happened. It's horrible, but we got to find a way to make good of it. To make it better than how we found it. And just got to find a way to work together and make tomorrow better. That these things don't happen.
So what are your plans at this point right
now? Probably too early to say. I mean, my focus right now is just the families that's involved. My staff, making sure that they're okay during this time. I mean, it's hard. It's really hard to call. It's really hard to call. I mean, who knows where to go at this point.
Y'all, it seems to me like Willie don't really understand the role that he played in this circumstance. And yes, it's unfortunate. And he acknowledges that, yes, he don't support the loss of life, but he supports selling alcohol that intoxicates Negroes that might have guns on them. Your security is obviously lacking, sir, ma'am. Sir, ma'am, and I understand. Let me give him a little piece of break, because it happened in the parking lot. Didn't happen on the inside, but this is someone who was filled with rage, who shot up the place. Didn't shoot who you was arguing with, because I'm pretty sure you didn't argue with 28 people. You killed 4, you critically injured 4, and 20 more are injured? Were you arguing with 28 people? No, you just a crazy person that might have got liquored up off in Willie's spot. Had a gun on you that didn't nobody check, and right there in that parking lot committed a mass shooting. Y'all try to put this on the whitey whites to say we're not capable of it. Yes, we are. Here's an example. The investigation continues. As of my reporting here, they have nobody in custody for this. Did not someone see something? Or are y'all gonna leave this to street justice to handle it and say, oh, I got hit, I got shot, I ain't seen nothing, I don't know nothing, I'm not reporting nothing, and let the streets handle it? We know how y'all get down. What are y'all gonna do with this circumstance? Because I'm advocating for President Trump to send a National Guard off into South Carolina. Because this, to me, rings like a cry for help. Seems like somebody is crying out for help. It ain't Willie. But you've got several families who have lost a loved one who are just going to an alumni event. Makes you wonder, maybe this shooter wasn't part of the alumni. Maybe you were rejected at a point. Maybe you weren't admitted at a point. Maybe you were pushed out from the Cool Kids Club at a point and you felt some kind of way, and now you might enact revenge at this alumni gathering. It seems odd. We don't have all the details. I'm going to sit here and wait for it to come out. But what is established is that there was a black businessman who was selling the devil's poison, the devil's piss water into the community. And at your establishment, sir, people lost their lives.
Thank you, Lydia. And that's true. We've been here for a few hours now. We've seen, cups on the ground, things, personal belongings like eyeglasses, earrings on the ground. We've even seen some blood on the floor. The shooting happened right here where I'm standing, just outside of the restaurant. Now, I've spoken to Willie's owner, Willie himself. This is what he had to say.
The day, um, I'm thankful for everybody who walked away. I'm thankful for everybody who's alive, who is safe. And we just gotta come together, and support each other at this time. I mean, it's kind of what makes or breaks community. It's something that is happening. It's horrible, but we got to find a way to make good of it. To make it better than how we found it. And just got to find a way to work together and make tomorrow better.
Now, in these past few hours of just being here on this scene, we've seen people come in and out just to come pick up their cars. People who were here last night who left their cars when they fled the scene, coming to pick them up to get everything ready. Lydia, back to you.
And Grace, I'll ask you more about those people. We know a little bit more about it today, that it was an alumni event for a school. Tell us about who was there. And one of the reasons that the restaurant owner there got emotional is because he knew one of them, right?
Right. Yeah. One of those victims in this shooting was the bodyguard. Now that bodyguard was the owner's family friend who he had just spoken to a couple nights before the shooting took place.
Grace, thank you so much for that live report. We now want to go to WJCL 22 News' Sabrina Lee, who is live outside of Beaufort Memorial in our team coverage here. Sabrina, you've been in Beaufort Memorial many different times. This is a very different situation now. Tell us what it looks like. What do you know about those that are being treated there?
Yeah, Lydia, like you said, I was actually here at Beaufort Memorial just a few days ago doing your standard run-of-the-mill story. And I'm going to be honest, I've been parked across the street from Beaufort Memorial for several hours now. And the scene looks completely normal. And I'm actually going to ask my photographer if he could pan out a little bit so we can see a little bit more of that wide shot. It looks like general run-of-the-mill business as usual from the outside of Beaufort Memorial. Now, I do want to say, we do know that 4 of those critically injured patients were taken from scene by Beaufort County Emergency Medical Services. And now what we do not know if they were actually taken here at Beaufort Memorial. I have been in contact with the hospital, and they have stated that they are not allowed to release any information or status or condition updates or confirm whether or not they received patients from this shooting on St. Helena without the full identification of the patient with their name. Lydia?
And yes, of course, hospitals can't speak specifically on individual cases here, but we know that some showed up because of that EMS after the shooting, but some actually came themselves. I mean, speak about, what that must have been like at the hospital.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. And the Beaufort County Sheriff's Office did put out in their press statement earlier today that, yes, those 4 critically injured patients were transported to a hospital by EMS. But patients continued to show up throughout the evening, overnight, to multiple area hospitals, possibly urgent cares, emergency centers, hospitals, clinics. We really don't know the extent of what this could be or the extent of their injuries at this time. And it's very possible that there are multiple people being treated for injuries related to this shooting beyond just those 4 critically injured patients. Lydia?
So much for that live report, Sabrina. Of course, our hearts and prayers are with those 4 that are critically injured, and many other are flooding in, saying different things, releasing statements. Beaufort City Councilman York L. Grover, who represents District 3, he's speaking out following this shooting. He said in a statement, quote, "We cannot tolerate this kind of behavior in our community. I am calling for this business to be shut down immediately. This is in the heart of our community, and I will call on local law enforcement to do what is necessary to bring those those responsible to justice. As for those who are responsible, we don't know much right now. We do know that they have a person of interest. The Beaver County Sheriff's Office has not told us if that person is in custody or not. That means we'll continue to follow this developing story both on air and online. For the very latest updates and breaking news, you can always go to our website, WJCL.com, or you can download the WJCL 22 News app, and we will now send you back to your regular scheduled programming.
And there you have it, y'all. Shut down Willie's in South Carolina. Shut down every establishment similar to Willie's all over the country, because this is not what the community needs in order to be better, in order to make the next generation better, in order to improve, in order to get along in this country that is going in the direction of the right, whether you like it or not. Things are happening. The ground is shifting right up under your feet. And if you can't get with it, well, if you can't get right, you're going to get left. We need people to understand. Maybe Willie's example can educate some folks and put folks on the right path that may have been going down the wrong path, because it seems like Willie was on the wrong path, pumping that alcohol into the community. Bro, that ain't helping nobody. Might have been helping your pockets, but people are dead at your establishment. I ain't blaming you, Willie, because you didn't pull the trigger. But you may have enabled someone who did. This is an unfortunate incident. And I hope there's a lesson here that we can all learn from. You want to party a little bit? Party at the crib. You want to have a good time? You better have a good time with people you know and trust. Because in these days, there's crazy folks out here walking among us. And you can't be out in these streets just partying and drinking and smoking and doing whatever you do without some kind of hedge of protection around you. And you ain't going to find it at Willie's. I suggest you go to prayer meeting and find God and let him protect you from situations like this. Y'all let me know what you think about this and Po Lil Willie and his podunk establishment out there in the country on one of them South Carolina islands. They gonna come down on his Po Lil head and shut down his establishment. I'm sure he ain't got the insurance to cover multiple wrongful death suits on top of multiple injurious lawsuits. This man is gonna file bankruptcy and run away. We'll never hear from Willie again. And those people who are unalive, those people who are injured, those families who are left to remain of those who are no longer with us, will be left to suffer with no compensation because of good old Willie. Y'all let me know what you think about this. I'd love to know your thoughts, and don't forget to like the video. Subscribe to the channel and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time, peace.